This is the Cubs Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Chicago Cubs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Locked On Cubs postcast here on the Locked On Cubs YouTube channel. Stress-free win for the Chicago Cubs in this game. They win 9-0. They hit 4 home runs in the game. They do something that they haven't done since 2013. Joe George here with you on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, at Joe George Radio. What's going on? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Today's episode is brought to you by Amazon Fire Stick. Did you know Fire TV is also an Xbox? Turn any TV into your gaming and entertainment hub with Fire TV Stick 4K devices, no console required. Head to Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to get started. Xbox Game Pass, Ultimate subscription, and compatible controller required. So we see a bunch happen in this game. We're going to get through all of it. The home runs, the good stuff we saw from that. The lineup, Shota was good through 5 innings. He obviously leaves the game in the 6th. We'll talk about that because it seemed scary at the time, holding the hamstring, but just cramps. So we'll talk through all that stuff. We'll talk through the lineup changes that we saw in this game as well, because didn't expect to see it, honestly. Was waiting for it. We've been talking about it a lot on these postcast shows, waiting to see Craig Counsell make a change, specifically with Dansby, Swanson. So we're going to get all that into the show. Your comments welcome live here on YouTube as well. So it's a home run party for the Cubs in this one. 4 home runs in this game, and that should be the headline, right? It should be the most exciting part. At the end of the game there, when the TV broadcast drops in, that this is the first time since July of 2013 that the Chicago Cubs have not struck out in a game, it kind of blew my mind. Honestly, when they started saying that stat, I assumed it was going to be like 2005, the last time the Cubs did something like this, because it's so uncommon to see that. But fantastic performance from the lineup today, and it's going to lead right into our player of the game, because it's going to have to be 2 guys for our Locked On Player of the Game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
So we're going to, for today's Locked On Player of the Game, we're going to go 2 guys here, Seiya Suzuki and Carson Kelly. They both deserve it. Seiya Suzuki, 3 hits in 4 at-bats, 3 runs, 2 RBIs, the home run, and a walk. So if you look at the walk like a single, he got the cycle in this game. So fantastic day from Seiya Suzuki at the plate. And then we see Carson Kelly. He's in the 4 spot tonight, which we'll have a bigger conversation about here in a minute. He goes 3 for 5 in this game, 3 RBIs and a home run himself. So those 2 guys are absolutely mashing for the Cubs in this game against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Kyle Tucker brings in someone with an RBI as well. It brings in Ian Happ with an RBI single. But Suzuki and Kelly is a really interesting combo in the 3 and 4 spot in this lineup. And I'm curious kind of what happens tomorrow. Like if we see Miguel Amaya in the lineup, and I'm not a big lineup person, and when the Cubs tweeted out, I'm not like running to my Twitter to see who's going to be in the lineup, but I'm curious for tomorrow's lineup, if Miguel Amaya is in it, what it's going to look like for Craig Counsell, like what he's going to do. But when I saw it today, I was really excited to see Dansby move down, Carson Kelly moved up, Michael Busch in the lineup against the lefty instead of Justin Turner. I feel like he deserves that at this point in the season with the way he's played. And 1 game in, the results are fantastic for the Cubs and this lineup. To have Carson Kelly protecting Suzuki like that seemed to work really well. And he's swinging the bat fantastic so far this season. I feel like Suzuki has been overshadowed by Carson Kelly, by Michael Busch a little bit, by Kyle Tucker. But he's hitting 298 now on this season. So he's mashing throughout the entire year. He's got 6-7 home runs on the year. Like half the Cubs have that many home runs this year. But what he's bringing behind Kyle Tucker, and then what Carson Kelly gave him today, just bringing him home when he's getting on base, it added so much. And the Cubs needed this one. Like we all kind of felt it after the last 2 games. They needed a bounce back offensively in this one. We all kind of felt a little antsy after the last 2 days, the last 2 games, that the Cubs offense needed to get going. I know a lot of people looked at the 2024 season and their start to the year, and it's pretty much on pace exactly with what the Cubs are doing this year. and then things kind of unraveled. So for today, I think it makes Cubs fans feel much better, but I really did like the lineup reconstruction that we saw there. And again, I'm curious what it'll look like tomorrow. I like the fact that not just Carson Kelly being moved up, but Crow-Armstrong moved up, who we saw hit a homer because he deserves it as well. And yes, he's obviously not moving much higher up in the lineup there. He's hitting 7th. Maybe he didn't even move up. But Nico Horner hitting behind Michael Busch, I like that too. I think Michael Busch having that will help him throughout the season because Michael Busch, like if Dansby's hitting behind him, there's a weakness. So having Nico behind him, having Crow-Armstrong, and then having Dansby sit in the back spot in the 8th spot in the lineup makes it so much deeper for this team. And then we see Dansby Swanson go deep in this game. And he today goes 1 for 3 with a walk. So he gets on base twice, has the home run. So a positive turn, day one return as well for Dansby in the 8th spot. And that's just where he needs to be. I think that's a great decision by Craig Counsell to rearrange the lineup and the way that he did. So fantastic day for the Chicago Cubs lineup. And obviously, again, will it be like this every day? I don't know. I mean, this might also be a one-game thing. We might see Craig Counsell tinker with this thing a little bit. We could see Crow-Armstrong move up higher in the lineup if Miguel Amaya is behind the plate. But the way Amaya is hitting, I think it's pretty clear to me. Like you just put him in that 4th spot. And if you're going to want Michael Busch to bat 5th, like that's fine. Put your catcher, whoever it is. I still can't believe what Carson Kelly's doing this season. He has been, it's unreal what he's doing. I mean, he's hitting 370 on the year. His on base percentage is 524. His slug is 891. I mean, it's incredible what he's done so far. And again, I don't think he should be the starting catcher. I love what the Cubs are doing and what Craig Counsell's doing by moving these guys in and out of the lineup. So overall, just great day offensively for the Chicago Cubs. All right, we'll take our first break of the show today, our only break of the show. When we get back, we'll talk about Shota Imanaga's performance, what we saw from the bullpen as well in this game, plus your questions and comments as the Cubs defeat the Pittsburgh Pirates 9. This is very funny comment from Craig here. I'm going to read it so I don't miss it. He says, Carson Kelly, do you mean Barry Bonds? Yes. For right now, we mean Barry Bonds because that's what he's doing for the Chicago Cubs. So when we get back, we'll talk about Shota, the bullpen, and other questions and comments you guys got as well here in the chat and the Locked On Cubs postcast on the Locked On Cubs YouTube channel. Today's show is brought to you by Wonderful Pistachios. Looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious? Crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help keeping you feeling fuller longer. I go with the no shell variety at home here. I got a 4-year-old little guy, so I don't want him to be dealing with shells or anything like that. It just makes my life so much easier. Plus, it's easier for me too. I'm not going to be complaining about no shells. Get snackin and get crackin with a snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. Today's show also brought to you by FanDuel. The NBA playoffs are here, and FanDuel is giving new customers an incredible way to get in on the action. Right now, when you join FanDuel and place your first $5 bet, you'll get $250 in bonus bets if your bet wins. FanDuel makes it super easy, whether it's picking your favorite team to win a game, like the Cubs, going into prop bets for the NBA playoffs, steals, assists, three-pointers, whatever you're looking at. Over under on fouls on Draymond Green. If you watched that game the other night, FanDuel has so many ways to bet your favorite player props. Don't miss out and head to FanDuel.com and claim your $250 in bonus bets today. All right, so Shota Imanaga in this game goes 5 innings, doesn't get that out in the 6th. He gives up a double to start the 6th inning. Leading up to that, 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. So he's pretty good, right? Like he's having a good day. Guys are getting hits, but nothing's doing any damage. That was the Pirates' first runner in scoring position, or second runner in scoring position when he gave up that double there in the 6th inning. And then he comes out of the game, and obviously with the Justin Steele injury that's already happened, there's kind of widespread panic that I think everyone feels watching a starting pitcher, but also a guy that's as important as Shota is to the Cubs. Like you can't afford to lose him. And then they start going through the replay. They're showing that he's grabbing the hamstring. But thankfully, and this is why it's very positive, is you don't typically have a TV broadcast jump in with an injury update that quickly unless it's positive, and it's just cramping. So no big deal. Eat a banana, some mustard. I think that's what our football coaches in high school do. They would give us a banana and they would take like a popsicle stick and put mustard on it and make the guys eat it if they were cramping up on a Friday night. So just get some of that in you, get some peanut butter, whatever you need, stop cramping, and you'll be fine, good to go. But he was very good in the first 5 innings. Every time the Pirates got a hit, and like I said, he gave up 6 of them, he just immediately got out of it without any damage. The other thing that stands out, and it wouldn't be, we'll get to the turning point of the game, and I wouldn't call this the turning point because the Pirates had no real damage, but obviously we've had a lot of conversation about third base as well this season, rightfully so, right? It's been a struggle. You have a prospect and Matt Shaw, it doesn't work out. He gets sent down. You've tried Gage Workman, you tried Brujan, you tried John Birdie. And John Birdie made another fantastic play. That screamer that went down to third base, he reaches down, he grabs it. Great play by John Birdie tonight. Now, I do feel like his arm's not as strong as you would like. We saw he bounced it there, and that was in the 9th inning there. To Michael Bush. It feels like he has to put a lot to get the ball from third base to first base, but he's doing a really good job in the corner right now. And again, I that's one thing that with this team right now, you got to keep playing him there. Eric says Birdie is definitely playing above his level. Yeah, I think to some extent he is. But right now, just ride the hot hand. 1 for 4. But right now, he's your everyday third baseman. So along with the other lineup changes that we saw in this game, unless he needs a day off, John Birdie should be the third baseman every single day for the Cubs. I think that's really no question about it. Just like Dansby Swanson needed to move down the lineup, John Birdie should be the guy batting 9th and playing third base every single day for the Cubs. It just is right now as constructed. That's the best version of this roster. And again, that's what I liked about the lineup today is it felt like it just put the Cubs players in the best position to succeed because you can't, with a guy like Dansby hitting in with guys on base and it's not going well, it ramps up the pressure to the guys in front of them. But, having, someone else be at third base and having Dansby move down in the bottom of the order, I think this really fits to what the Cubs need to be doing, at least until they can make an acquisition at some point this season. We'll still see the other guys. We'll still see Brujan and Justin Turner getting playing time and obviously things like that. But just for now, I enjoyed coming off the day off on a Monday, which is strange. We should always, be playing baseball on Mondays. It's very strange to me the last 2 weeks with no baseball on a Monday. But I like what the Cubs are doing right now with the lineup and Birdie for sure. Craig asked, but can we do better than Birdie, please? You know what? Sorry about that. Yes, the Cubs can absolutely do better than John Birdie at third base. Well, for now, I'll take it. And that's the way I think we should look at it. Is for now, it is a positive that he is the third baseman for the Cubs. And eventually, it's clear you can make an upgrade for him at the deadline when you need to. And hopefully, again, you don't even have to acquire someone. Hopefully, Matt Shaw, who I think they said on the broadcast, went 3 for 4 today in Iowa. Hopefully he can just get going at some point and he can just be back up and be the everyday third baseman. But for now, I think John Birdie is a very good solution for the Cubs at third base. All right. Let's get to our turning point of today's game.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Obviously, a lot of things you can choose from here, right? When it's 9-0, you don't strike out. You throw your 4th shutout of the season. So I will go turning point of the game. I don't want to give it to Carson Kelly as well because we already gave him the player of the game. Let's go to the 5th here. Pete Crow-Armstrong hits the two-run home run to bring home Nico Horner. It's 4-0 Cubs, and it definitely felt like that was the ball game at that point. The Cubs hit 3 2-run homers in this game. Pete Crow-Armstrong continues as well to be one of the best players in baseball. If you look at WAR, he's towards the top. He's the best Cubs player right now based on WAR. He's edging out Kyle Tucker just barely. He's been one of the best players in baseball since August 1st of last year. He's top 7 in WAR since August 1st of last year. So he just keeps crushing it and keeps playing very good baseball for the Cubs. As much as we all want, them to pay Kyle Tucker, and if you follow David Kaplan from ESPN 1000, kind of gave I would say a glimmer of hope to Cubs fans that the ownership and front office know that they basically need to pay Kyle Tucker. So I trust David Kaplan with anything Cubs related, I would say. So a little glimmer of hope that the Cubs actually realize what they have in King Tuck and maybe they can pay him. But I really want to see a contract for Pete Crow-Armstrong laid out as well. I got the new Cubs hat. I got the Pete Crow-Armstrong jersey on the way as well. So great day for the Cubs. Really, from top to bottom, no complaints in this game. Not a single one. We also saw Tom. Yep, Tom. Had to remember his name for a second. No disrespect to the new guy. Tom Cosgrove, 2 innings pitched, gave up a walk, struck out 2 guys, and a hit. So bringing another lefty into the bullpen. Thielbar, good out of the bullpen. And, let's talk about Daniel Palencia real quick here before we wrap up the show. So Palencia obviously has to come in a situation that's not ideal. He has to warm up on the mound. He has to get ready as fast as possible. I know technically they give you as much time as you possibly need, but he's obviously was not under control when that inning started. He was all over the place, walking guys, guys just not finding the strike zone. Really thought that was a really great bounce back from him to not let this thing unravel when he's up there in the 6th inning. Because obviously at that point, the Cubs are up 4-0 when Shota leaves the game. So if he falls apart and you don't have a couple good defensive plays, I think it was from Michael Busch in that inning, maybe this thing turns on its head a little bit. But really, I thought, Daniel Palencia, from having to come into the game in that situation where you're not prepared to go in, you're warming up on the field, and you start off really struggling to find the strike zone. I thought that was a very good performance from him as well. All right, that will do it for us today. You can find me on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram at Joe George Radio. We'll be back live tomorrow as soon as the Cubs game versus the Pirates wrap up. Hopefully, if there's a rain delay again, it's very short as well because, don't be needing another hour-long rain delay. Thankfully, it was only 20 minutes. So thanks for hanging out with us today. We'll be back tomorrow live here on the Locked On Cubs YouTube channel. Remember, Matt and Sam will have a show coming up as well after this one. They'll be dropping an episode. So thanks for watching. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace.